Maxine Dexter, Oregon's third, here on the Capitol steps, really honored with.
Congresswoman Delia Ramirez from Chicago, Illinois 3.
And Congressman, thank you so much for taking some time. I just want people at home to know what Chicago's been doing, how you all have been fighting the egregious, unlawful acts of this administration. And we are going through, some challenges in Portland, obviously, and we're seeing escalating ICE activity. So would really love to learn how Portland can show up and protect our neighbors.
Yeah, well, thank you, Congresswoman Dexter. I mean, I think about what's happening in Portland, what's happening in Chicago, and we're so interconnected. I would probably tell you if someone asked me, how do people in Chicago feel? In some ways, they feel they're under siege.
Yeah.
I mean, people feel like ICE has invaded our city and is creating all sorts of chaos and fear for people.
Yeah.
There are people that have not left their home in the last 2, 3 weeks out of fear of being taken, of being shot in front of their children, right? And with all of that, our community is showing up in ways we've never seen.
Yeah.
I mean, Chicago is an organizing city, but to see neighbors who tell me, Congresswoman, I've never really got involved in the neighborhood, in the community, but I heard that they were tear gassing in front of the school, and I took 2 hours off to show up. Tell me what to do.
Yeah.
It's been really inspiring and encouraging to see that. So there's a lot of rapid response teams. We have rapid response teams all around the city of Chicago in the northwestern suburbs. People are being trained on what to do, how to make sure they know their rights, how to record properly, how to report ICE sightings. And then we're doing a lot of deportation defense, which my office has been doing a lot of that on the ground. And the recordings have actually allowed us to be able to use a lot of that footage to respond to the lies from ICE of what's actually happening on the ground. And that means that it's going to the courts and we're winning in the courts.
That's phenomenal. And I just really want to underline that some of this is driven by community, right? Like who's organizing all this?
So much of this is driven by the community. I would love to tell you it's elected officials. It's not. It's never really been the elected officials. It's people on the ground who are saying enough is enough. I mean, I have folks that are part of these rapid response teams with 400 people on a thread. That's crazy because you and I both know these signal threats could be a little out of control. But there are people who've been trained on how to do rapid response work. People who have now taken assignments. We're going to focus on this part of the city. You're going to focus here. If you hear anything and we need to send and deploy people, here's how to deploy people. Make sure you have battery packs ready to record. Make sure that you're calling the hotline. Organizations like ICER, which is the Immigrant Coalition on Refugee Rights in Chicago area, is doing a lot of that work. And then a lot of the people on the ground are saying, well, why is it that it's okay for ICE to recklessly drive and cause accidents? There should be legislation on it. And so they're informing a lot of us, city council people, state electeds, and federal members of Congress to say, well, there's a legislative action to be taken. First of all, they should not be violating traffic safety, and they should be accountable, or they should be using body cameras.
Yeah.
Or why are they in hospitals? And so right now, the General Assembly is filing legislation to keep them from hospitals, keep them from courtrooms, and certainly continue to keep them from schools.
Amazing. And I've also heard and seen some stories of business leaders like refusing to serve ICE agents, not allowing them to use their parking lots or their cars, their rental cars. Like, tell me more about who's organizing that. Again, I think so much of this, Portland is in a really good position to try to mobilize.
So I'll tell you, we have these ICE-free zones. And I want to give a shout out to our Mayor Brandon Johnson. He passed an executive order in the city of Chicago that determines that any public space owned by the city of Chicago is ICE-free zone. ICE can't stage in anything that belongs to the city of Chicago or in private property. And they're actually working with a lot of the community organizations, some of the Chamber of Commerce, to actually print out these papers, these flyers that say ICE is not allowed in our property. Because here's the thing. Home Depot may forget this, but a lot of the businesses were talking to them and saying, you are a private entity. You're a private business. You don't have to let them in, despite of the fact that they say it's law enforcement. They should have a warrant just like anyone else. Otherwise, you can't really protect your customers and your associates or your employees. So we're doing a lot of that work. And Maxine, even doing the door-to-door, talking to businesses, many of them would tell you, I've lost business 20, 30%.
Right.
Putting those signs up in the door makes the customers and the employees feel safer to come and show up.
Well, and I know Portland is showing up in really courageous ways. And if a business put something up like that, I have no doubt that more people would want to support that business as well as a result of that.
And I think part of it, Maxine, is people don't know that they can't. Right now, we have to ask ourselves, how do we use every creative opportunity, organizing tactic to push back against a federal government that's been weaponized against the people,
Yeah.
and helping people understand their rights, whether it's a business or an individual or a neighbor, is so important,
Yeah.
because that's actually how you come up with these ideas and how you encourage our cities and our states to also pass legislation that protects these people.
Great. Well, I want to tell you that if there's room in Chicago for anything else, the inflatable costume industry is getting single-handedly supported in Portland. And it's so absurd to be sending military troops into our cities. And I know that you are receiving some from Texas and that's been blocked. But that threat also is something that, the absurdity is so crazy that people are showing up with, levity just to point out how ridiculous this
That's exactly
is.
right.
Yeah.
Especially when they keep saying, "Oh, the people in Portland, these are people who are threatening and harming our ICE agents." Like, really? Yeah, really? When you show up with this inflatable costume, that's threatening to you? I mean, just the parody of the moment. I think some people in Chicago have said maybe we should be using those to protect ourselves from tear gassing.
Yeah.
I mean, just think about the moment we're living in. But when you see a pastor, a priest getting tear gas
Yeah.
for attempting to pray over a facility where his constituents are
Yeah.
at, that shows where we are as a nation. And also, I think I want to say to you, Maxine, but when I look at the videos of the chanting of all these inflatable dragons and all sorts of things, it also reminds me of something that's really important. Joy is also an act of resistance.
That's right.
And
That's
even in these moments of so much pain, so much inflicted pain, we have to find a way to be able to support each other and to find joy with each other.
Well, I'm so honored to be in this with the Congresswoman, and thank you for your partnership. And I look forward to our cities uniting in this effort for justice.
Portland, Chicago, united.
Yes, thank you.